All right, I thought I'd take a quick couple of minutes here and answer some questions that keep coming up in the comments. And I'm an artist and a professor and not a YouTube person, but I love answering questions. It's kind of what I do for a living. So if you have any more questions or you find something along the way that you want to send me, let me know. I'll always take my time to answer it. I've tried to answer as many questions as I can in the comments, but a lot of these keep cropping up. So I thought I'd make a quick little video to answer some of these directly. The first one that keeps popping up is the music choice and the volume. I think those come down to preference. I usually just play banjo over most of my videos because I can record it here and I play the banjo. So, and it's free to me, right? But this time I thought I'd take a chance and do something totally different because I've done banjo videos for a long time. And I have a recent friend named Andrew Montana who you've heard his music. Some people love it, some people hate it. That's cool by me. It's not for everybody, but I thought I'd get an opportunity to share his music. And if it's a little loud, I'm sorry. So turn down the volume. In the next couple episodes, I've turned it down a little more than what I would normally prefer, but that's for y'all. And if you don't like the music, that's okay. No big deal. But I have some technical questions that have been asked a few times, so I thought I'd answer those. So first comes up oftentimes is how I cut the ribs so thin in the first episode. Just very simply, I cut them on the table saw, really close, like 1.5, 1.3 mil, and then I send them through a sander or scrape them or plane them by hand down to about 1 millimeter before final sanding on the outside. So I didn't really think too much of it before showing the final product. I've had some people say that I'm not a luthier. I'm cool by that. I'm not. I never say that I am. I say that I make instruments. And I think there's a very important difference. I would never build small houses in my basement out of toothpicks and call myself an architect. And so out of respect for the craft and for a lot of other purposes, I never say I'm a luthier, even though I make and repair instruments for people all the time. It's part of my art practice. So I'm a trained artist in stone lithography and in printmaking, and I've done apprenticeships in furniture making and violin making. And I have a master's degree in printmaking, so I teach college. So I do a lot of things in the arts professionally. So I will say that I'm an artist because I exhibit work regularly, and I'm a professor. I'll never say that I'm a teacher. That's a really, really high term for me. And I think that's reserved for people that teach K through 12. When I say I'm a teacher, that's what people think. So I never say that because those people have a calling and I highly, highly respect them. So I will say that I'm a professor. I say that I'm an educator because I teach things online and otherwise, but I never really say that I'm a teacher. So if you don't think I'm a luthier, totally cool. Here's another question people ask me is, why didn't I make something very different out of the original woods of Tally-Ho? Well, I proposed this to Leo and I was very excited about it. And to tell you the impetus of this project is I started thinking about Poncho. If you guys have watched a lot of Leo's videos, the parrot that would walk around in his earlier videos, Poncho, I thought about making a pochette, which is a pocket violin. It's a smaller violin into certain standards, so it's a little quieter. And I thought about making one with a parrot on the top and making a Poncho pochette, which I thought would be awesome. And I offered that to him, thinking that he might want something kind of unique and interesting to really deal with the boat. A lot of pochettes are actually boat shaped. So I thought about using white and orange and making it really the hull of Tally-Ho. I thought about making a cedar top, all those things to make the deck the top and make one of the sides for the back, you know? So I thought all of that through. I thought it'd be great to do. And if I could get some of the original teak or any of the original wood from the original Tally-Ho, I thought it'd be great. So I did propose that to Leo. I told him I thought I could make a really cool, unique instrument with all the different species of wood. And he wanted something more traditional. He wanted something that wasn't so exactly linked to the boat. And so I honored that. I think that's a great idea. And so I gave him what he wanted, which was a more traditional violin made from more traditional materials. And yeah, I could have done Purple Heart pegs and Purple Heart fingerboards and all that stuff. And I think that would have been great, but that's not what he wanted. So that's why I did it. Spruce. There's no spruce in Tally-Ho. And it has a spruce top on this instrument. And once again, it goes back to, I thought it would be great to do the cedar planks and it would have a very mellow sound to be a little different. And I think that's fine. I like instruments that are different. Good Lord, I love different instruments. I make them all the time. but he wanted something that was solid and it would last a long time, and he wanted it to be more like a real normal fiddle. And so he gave me a piece of spruce because he said, and I respect this, that it doesn't all have to come from Tally-Ho, that he'd rather it be a spruce top, not from Tally-Ho, than a cedar top from Tally-Ho. So I'm making this as a gift for him and for the project. So whatever he wants, I'm fine with. So that's where the spruce kind of comes into play. The other question I got is, why haven't I delivered this in person? People have asked me this a lot of, am I going to deliver it? Am I going to do whatever? And my answer is no. I'm shipping it from Kentucky to Leo. And part of my thought process in that is this project is not about me, and I never want it to come across that I'm trying to sell something or push my way into anything. I think that would be really rude to make it about me or to make it anything other than a gift. And so by delivering in person, I think it would be too showy, and I just don't feel comfortable with that. I would love to see Tally-Ho. I'd love to meet all the people. I'd love to hear it played on Tally-Ho. That'd be awesome. But I don't think that's in the cards. If he hopefully, however he chooses to share this instrument, is up to him ultimately. So if he wants to play it on an episode or play it at open house or I don't know what, he can choose to do however he fits with it. That's not up to me. So I chose to just mail it. I've had people ask why I don't show more of certain processes in here, that I kind of skip a couple steps. And that's just what I thought would be a nice summary of the process. This is not a full violin build. That takes hundreds of hours, and I just don't have interest in making that video, to be totally honest. I offer apprenticeships in traditional violin making and banjo making, and so I take the time with students to actually make their own instruments, and that's where I'd rather put my time. I also have a family and kids, and that's where I want to put my time. So this is for fun. This is to show you guys a tidbit of how these things are made and to pique your interest and to educate you, as well as for me to share what I'm doing. So yeah, there are some things that I skip because that's what I would do. So yeah. Someone had asked about the lining size. This is a very specific question about, in the very first video when I put lining on the instrument, how I leave it proud. Why not get it to the final dimension before putting it in and all that stuff? It's much easier to sand that flat really quickly or to plane it flat really quickly than to make all those twisting measurements or to make it whatever. It's also delicate work on a table saw to trim those little pieces and plane them all. So I just make them close and knock it down. It's a lot easier to do that than to try and clamp them in flush with the ribs exactly. I just don't see a reason for it. Oh, one more. Someone asked, why don't you cut the back into thinner pieces versus planing it? Well, the pieces he shipped me were only like 1/8 of an inch or a little less thicker than they need to be. So by the time I resawed that on a bandsaw, I'd have dust. So I like hand planes. I collect them and use them all the time. So I thought that'd be a better use of my time and energy and sweat than running it through a planer. And it's fun to see. It's enjoyable. So I always, you've heard me say, like, I like doing the things that bring me joy. I'd rather do that than try and resaw it and cut it down on a table saw or put it through a planer or whatever else is. And that's great for everybody else, but I just do the things that I like to do. So if you have any questions, send them my way and I'll try and get to them and answer them in the comments, or if I have enough of the same ones like this time, I'll do another little video. And if there's an instrument build that you guys want to see, let me know. Maybe I'll do another little mini set of these. And if there's a custom instrument you want made, heck yeah, I'll make it and we'll make some videos about it. So, hope you all are enjoying these, and we'll see you all in the next video. Alright, so for those that really despised the music in this series, for whatever reason, if it's not your taste, thought I'd play a couple banjo songs for you, if that'll make your day a little nicer. So yeah, here's some calming banjo. Maybe we'll play a couple speedy tunes. This is one of my favorites that I've made over the past couple years. This is a minstrel style fretless gourd banjo with a shaved goatskin head. Deep sound and pretty wonderful to play. We'll see if it translates to camera here, but we'll play a couple songs for y'all. Let's see, what's a good one? play one of my fun favorites. It's a faster one called Sal's Got Mud Between Your Toes. See if we can do this one. All right, y'all enjoy your day.